Today's video, we're going to be going over the Sunken Temple extended pull. Instead of pulling 70 mobs, we'll be pulling 100 mobs. And the point of me going over this is to give you a detailed guide so that you can avoid some frustration and common pitfalls, and understand some of the nuance with this video. In the first video, I went over the basic 70 mob pull, and if you didn't watch that, don't worry, you don't need to. This video, I'm going to go over in depth everything that you need to know to be successful. If you like the video, please consider liking or subscribing. Comment below on tips or tricks you know or things that you should think I should cover in the future. The first video I ever did was the most successful thing that I've ever posted on the internet, and so shout out to everybody that came out to support. I really appreciate it. It was overwhelmingly positive, and it's why I'm going to continue to create content. I really appreciate that support. I'm also live streaming every day at twitch.tv/clickvice. So if you have any questions you want answered, I'll answer them on stream. If you just want to come and hang out, that'd be great. Also, shout out to Azzi and Lederon for their videos demonstrating how to do this. I will drop their links in the description below. And then also the main inspiration for doing this video was that somebody commented you were missing out on 30 elite trolls after you pull the dragons. And so we're going to go over exactly that. And so I think this is actually very worth it to do because you get extra mage weave because the mobs you're killing are humanoid. So they do drop cloth. Although some of the mobs have some nuance to them, it's not that bad, and there is a reset if things go south. And so we'll go over that today. And let's get into some of the consumes. For consumes, I have health, mana potions. You should always have these. Have your all your mana gems. Have food and water, and then you're going to have, for the first part of the pull, ice armor, dampen magic, and arcane intellect. You don't absolutely need nature protection pots, but I definitely think it makes it that much more smoother. I would highly recommend it. Swiftness potions I don't use. I'm not going to use this during this pull. It does make it easier, but you don't absolutely need it. You shouldn't absolutely need it, especially with the way I go about the kill phase. I'll show you a little different part of the kill phase that I do than in videos I've seen. As for gear, I would say prio of the owl gear, you shouldn't be taking too much damage. It's okay to have a little bit of stamina, but you shouldn't be, again, taking that much damage at all. I highly recommend getting minor speed increased boots. This only cost me about 5 gold, but it makes the runs that much more smooth. As far as talents go, I changed some of my talents prior. I was using wand specialization and also arcane resilience, but I think that's better for open world. But for the instance grinds, I think getting some of the resistance, magic absorption, and magic attunement really makes, especially the Mardon pulls, that much more easier. You just have more magic resist, and you also have increase to mana regenerated. So now let's go to movement. Alright, to start, you're going to have ice armor, arcane intellect, dampen magic. Make sure that all your consumes are good. You're going to run to the left, devil shield up. If you're 60, you won't aggro these mobs, but if you're below, you need to rank 1 pull to hold them. You'll be running here, and a lot of times there's a pat right here. You blink up the stairs, frost over the pat, keep running to the right. If you blink too early on the stairs, you'll bounce backwards, and the pat can hit you, maybe get dazed or something like that. But just keep running up the stairs. Now take a right here, past these mobs, don't worry about them too much. And you're going to run this way, and you're going to run up to this ledge, and you're going to jump off the edge of the ledge to the left at a 30-degree angle, and at the bottom you're going to blink. If you don't blink, you're going to aggro these mobs, especially if you're lower leveled. So it's very important that you blink. Remember to blink there. Avoid these mobs, run to this candle, like how I just did. And then to the left of this line on this ledge here, you're going to do a clip jump. So you're going to run and jump, and when you jump, you're going to release W. So you're running up here, and you release W. And sometimes you won't get it, and so you saw how I missed it right there. And that's why you don't want to aggro mobs. If you have mobs on you during that, you could likely die. So then at the end of the clip jump, or like when you're here, you want to just hit space W, and then you'll be able to get up like that. So again, just one time, run, jump, release W, space W. You're going to run to the left here, angling your camera to the left, or angling your character so that you don't fall. If you take a fall here, you're probably going to die, especially you'll probably aggro something. I'm not aggroing anything because I'm 60, but if you have aggro right now, you're just going to run to right here and then just wait for the mobs to reset. This whole ledge is a reset spot, but once it's reset, then you're going to run As long as the drakes have just passed you to the right like they just did there, then you start running. And I run along this ledge. You don't necessarily have to, but once I get to this little dip right here, I'm going to select the back mob, rank 1 Frostbolt, and they're going to run. You have to tag him again, so I'm going to tag him with a rank 1 Fire Blast. Waiting for him to come, rank 1 Fire Blast. And then we're going to stand on the shade of Aranicus, come over here, and then blink. When you see the yell, you blink. That RP yell, as soon as you see it, you blink. You might get knocked around, not a big deal. They drop combat pretty quick. They've already dropped. I keep running. Go to the left over here. Now the mobs are being summoned in. And I go up here, and now what I'm doing is called rendering in the mobs. It's like a server-side rendering thing. That way, the further up you go, the faster they come to this point. So I like to run over here and just jump up here just to be safe. That way, the mobs don't get me. You don't have to be all the way up here. You can just be on this ledge. And just render them in. At about 20 seconds, I head over, 25 seconds-ish, I head over. This is a weak aura, and I'll link this in the description below. It's a timer that's not exactly perfect, but it's saying like when the mobs will despawn. Make sure to keep your shields up. Normally I would tell you to get mage armor if you're only doing the 70 mob pull, but we're going to wait to do that, as we're going to need frost armor in the next portion of the pull, where we pull the trolls. You can, though, pop a nature protection potion, which is good. You want to keep your consumes on cooldown early and often. It's no shame in using them as fast as possible. Looks like we have some stragglers here. Not a big deal. We're going to run up, and we're going to rank 1 Blizzard these mobs. As soon as they get tagged, turn around, blink, Frost Nova these mobs. The drakes will keep chasing you. It's not a big deal. You're going to take a right here, and we're going to blink on cooldown as we run from the mobs. So blink's about to be on off cooldown. We blink again. You should be able to get 3. You're going to take a right here towards the trolls. And remember, you want to keep shields topped up. Take a right here. And then we blink one last time. 3 is the max you can get here. I do have the minor speed enchant, so that could be why I only get 3. Maybe you get more, but you're gonna blink it. You're gonna blink here soon. So you're gonna run up here, and this part gets a little bit tricky. So run here, and these 2 mobs. I want you to select this mob, and then rank 1 Cone of Cold that mob. As you're running, then you're going to counterspell that mob. Rank 1 Fire Blast. Be to the right of these things of bones. Rank 1 there again. You're gonna jump up here. Rank 1 Cone of Cold, Frost Nova. So I jumped turn Cone of Cold here. You could actually just get away with Frost Novaing right here, and you'll probably be in better shape. Cold, Frost Nova. Rank 1 Blizzard here. Rank 1 right. Just something I want to point out here is that actually Arcane Explosion a little bit too early here. Instead, Arcane Explosion at this ledge, and you'll take way less swings than I did. Rank 1 right there. Jump over here, and then now the mobs will stop for a little bit. They have about 15 seconds, so you can run forward and then blink again. And that bought you extra time because they stopped. That's why I like that pull a little bit better. That's actually the lowest I've gotten ever doing this. Probably the most melee hits I took. There might be a better way to go about that. Maybe use like rank 1 Cone of Cold. But to the right here, you're going to blink again, and then we're going to rank 1 Blizzard that corner. Just to get them more grouped up. And then keep moving forward. And then blink should be off cooldown here soon. Just keep shields topped up. We're going to jump to where this little troll mural is at the corner right here. Kind of the same clip jump. It's a little easier to get. And then as the first wave of mobs pass, we're going to ice block right here. So I'm ice blocked. They all pass. Ice block's about to be up. I'm just going to rip a bandage since I'm actually pretty low. I found that going along the edges like that, I'm not that low that much. It's pretty consistent. I can consistently escape. I recommend the minor speed enchant. Go to this little hoof mark right here, and then test if you can get up. Good, I can get up. And then you're going to wait for the mobs to come in, and you're going to rank 1 Blizzard. And I should mention I should get Frost Armor here, or I mean not Frost Armor, Arcane. So just jump back up, because I don't want to screw up. So the caster mobs are going to cast on you. You just want to go to the left. That'll cancel their cast. That's true of most all the caster mobs. I just broke the line of sight there. So we're going to come back over here. They're not clumped up terribly because I had those straggling mobs there. Not a big deal, though. We're just going to rank 1 now to get them clumped up. We clump them up, and then we try to pump. Clump and pump. So they're not that grouped up. Again, caster mobs just go to the left, and you make sure when you. I just press Q for me. Some of you might be A, but just make sure that you're along the edge of the wall, because if you're not and you fall off going to the left, you're just dead. I would also recommend not having mana shield. I just kind of use ice barrier here because you'll get more caster mob damage in general, and then also like you shouldn't be taking so much damage that you absolutely need mana shield because you're just gonna waste mana. So now they're pretty clumped up. I'm gonna run forward here, and you can blizzard right here. The only reason I don't like doing that as much is because 1, you can be casted on, and then also 2, like some of the mobs can get like an unfair lead on the others. So that's why I just wanted to show you that, demonstrate how to do it. You can put your reticle like right here, but if you want to go further and make a cast, you have to like do it to the edge of the line. I don't really like that as much. I find just doing it on the ground is fine. It is a lot faster if you can do it on the ledge too. The only problem is just like it'll kind of makes the pull uneven. So now I got to do rank 1 blizzard again. So just jump back up here. Remember, it's the same clip jump. And I don't want the mobs, the bulk of the mobs, to get past this line. When they're about past this line, I start thinking about jumping up. If you let them get here, they might get you. Like all it takes is them to maybe like leave from here, and then they take a few extra steps. It reminds me kind of like Mario, where Mario, if you press the right on the direction pad, he'll take a few extra couple steps and then swing on you, and then the mobs can all kill you. I've died that way a lot of times, so I really just want to wait until like right about here. And you see that I did it on the ledge there. It's fine, but it makes the pull kind of uneven, and there's a problem is that some of the troll mobs are they're cannibals, and so at 30% or below, the cannibal mobs will start to eat to heal, and since there's already dead mobs, they're probably just going to heal off it, but like you want to try to avoid that as best you can. You want to try to kill the mobs as together as possible, because then it's most mana efficient. So you see this mob's healing. It's not a big deal if they're healing, but it's the cannibal mobs, like this one right here, the corpse eater, is now like you might have to reset if you get corpse eater. Not reset, but you might have to cancel the remainder of the pool afterwards. That's not a big deal. I still get about 100 plus mobs even without killing these, and so I'll demonstrate that here soon. I'm gonna rip a potion and a gem. It's okay to rip gems early and often. Normally I'd care if he's swinging on me, but since it's only 1 and I have my barrier up, it's not going to interrupt the pull as much. I'm going to bandage just to stay topped off. So we're topped off there. Not going to evocate yet, maybe until a little lower. They're kind of... I'm going to rank 1 here just because they're not as clumped up as I'd want them to be. So now I'm going to go back here. And this is the max... This is like if you want to max range it, you have to be like right about here. And then if you want to just do it closer, you can do it a little closer, and it's kind of like a line, if you see what I'm saying. So they're not grouped up because now you see the problem with it's a little more nuanced with the trolls. They kind of screw things up, like especially the corpse eaters. But that's okay. You can just finish the pull without killing the corpse eaters. All I'm really concerned about right now is getting the rest of the whelplings, and any of the trolls that aren't corpse eaters. And so she's gonna swing on me. It's fine. Now, since I don't have Shadow Word Paint on me, I'm gonna evocate. I would rip a bandage, but there's so few mobs that I'm just going to kind of risk it. It's really not a big deal. I will say, since I have clear casting here, I'm going to try and get him up here. And the thing is, you don't want to waste the entire time just trying to kill some of the remaining mobs, or else the corpses will start to disappear, and it kind of screws up the entire run. So since there's only the priest left, I'm going to make sure I kill the high priest. I'm not going to worry about the corpse eaters. You see how they're healing all the way to full. Kind of a buzzkill, those mobs, but it's fine. So taking a decent amount of damage. I just health pot there. I'm going to rip another Jade. So now at this point, I'm gonna just reset these mobs so I can get the loot. You don't want the other mobs to be dead for too long, so you can just run up here, and it takes maybe about 15 seconds. You can even rip a bandage if you want. So all the way up here, they're about to drop combat because I don't want to lose the loot. You could lose out on the Edge Masters or something like that. So they went away. And now we're going to go back over to loot now that I'm out of combat. Right, I'm just going to right click quickly. I think in my last video I did it slower. You don't have to wait as long. I thought you had to see everything. You can just right click through it. You'll see that I'm getting Mage Weave. You should start to see Mage Weave. Yeah, there it is. Because these are humanoid mobs. Previously, you didn't get any Mage Weave in the shorter pool, whereas this you do because you have humanoids. Additionally, I think this is about 105 mobs. We'll check here. But again, don't worry about the corpse drinkers, or not the corpse eaters as much. They kind of just screw everything up. There's probably a better tech. If you know a better tech to like consistently get the corpse eaters, then let me know in the comments below. It's kind of weird that they I don't know, I kind of hate that, and they behave differently, and they stand in the middle of where you just killed everything. But it's nice though having the other trolls. The healing trolls aren't that big of a deal, so it really makes this possible. And again, for that pull, it was kind of weird that I took that much damage. Sometimes like every pull is seems to be a little bit different, but they just caught up to me quicker. But I do like having that little space you can jump over in the troll room. And I'm going to show you how to get out of here. If you've done ZF, you don't need to do any weird Hearthstone mechanics. You can just walk over this way, down the stairs. And let's just check how many mobs that was. So it says 112. I don't know if that means the amount of mobs I tagged or the amount of mobs I killed. But that's well over the 70 mob pool and pretty well worth it. A little bit more challenging, a little more mana intensive. But if you're popping your potions on cooldown, hitting your mana gems, and even ripping evocation, it can be pretty easy. Definitely bring in bandages, and again, use the enchant. If you guys like the video, please reach out and consider hitting me up on Twitch at twitch.tv/clickvice. Again, also last thing I want to mention, if you're a gnome, it can be a little bit more difficult. I will drop a link in the description of the gnome guide on how to make some of these jumps and how the kill phase should look. It's one of the only races that has kind of issues in World of Warcraft. But again, thanks, and I'll see you later.